Shame on us, baby.
Here you go, Les. Found your wrench. Stuck in the ground.
I throw way better stuff. I can see why it's stuck in the ground.
Not if you're using it for a stooge.
Oh yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
it was stuck right down the ground. I bet you somebody was using it as a, a stooge anchor.
The beautiful Bearcat of Al Arabi. The cat. Tiger cats, Bearcats. All we need's a wild cat. Wild women and a wild cat. What a combo. it on the main's beautiful. Cat power. Cat power. All right. Woo-hoo. So we just got done watching Al's flights on video. He prefers everybody copy the first one, make multiple copies, and edit out the second one. Oh, it's the wrong way. We got wax inside, and if you want to polish it up.
Wax.
Polish it up.
What the hell is wax?
We're going to have a concourse award during the barbecue. Okay, they have the properly taped hinge lines. All the tip weight now is in the correct tip weight. And we're going to get a look at how the critical mass is piped up, and Al's going to buff it out.
Yeah, sure.
You know, hey Les, you were right. The way the valve covers stick out, that's cool as can be.
I don't know. I think it keeps it a certain...
You almost think it's one of the cylinders.
They're not supposed to be there, but for some reason, there they are.
Okay. I need a small Phillips and a small Common. Because I never paint all of it.
That small one?
Yeah.
See where the flaps are? Yeah. They come together. Well, there's a cover down there for a reason. Yeah.
Now see, this is kind of squared off too. So maybe Al's got something there. How about the elevators? No, the elevators are pointy. Now when you do these inclines, what do you do, the silver part first or the black?
Black.
Do the black and then just highlight it with the silver? Is that the technique?
That's the way I do it, yeah. The bottom is overdone. The top looks better because it's more subtle.
And this, I saw this on the video with the gear doors with the overlays.
Now, why did you screw this on to the other side of the flap instead of epoxying it on?
Because it's got a float.
Well, on one side it floats.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but if I epoxied it, then I wouldn't have that nasty looking bump on the top of the wing where two long screws.
Okay.
You have to understand these things.
What does that spin away, Al? Did you weigh it all, the whole assembly up?
Yeah, I did, but I forgot.
I mean, it's got to be 3 ounces or more, right?
Well, actually, it doesn't weigh a lot more than the way it is when you buy it. It's a CB 3.5.
Okay.
But you know, instead of having the back plate separate from the spinner,
Right.
now the back plate is part of the truss washer.
That was regular silver that you used to highlight the ink lines?
It's silver can, and the shit doesn't dry. See where it's smeared? So you want to do that just before you put the clear on.
Warren bent the header for you?
No.
Oh, you bent it yourself? Warren Walker?
Yeah, Warren did it.
Yeah, that's nice. He did a couple for me too.
So anyway, pickup goes up here and does a U-turn up here, right here. It's just inside the cowling.
Okay, gotcha.
The airplane sits nose high. When you fuel the tank, with the airplane sitting nose high, all the fuel runs back into the tank.
Right, doesn't stay up by the motor.
It doesn't stay by the motor, but if you when you're fueling it, if you run the fuel around the corner, then it will stay up, and you can get faster starts.
Right.
And so here's my fill right here.
Oh, yeah, I saw you have all the vents inside.
There's
nice.
the fill and the overflow.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
And so of course they go back here, and this is my
Your glow driver deal?
yeah.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah, because I saw you were plugging it in like a
Okay.
like Rich has, similar.
Yeah,
similar.
here's the plug right here.
Right.
I like that.
Dean's connector.
It's the Dean's connector.
I like that.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's what I'm going to do.
So it's
And you made your own clunk, a metal clunk. Is that a
yeah, that's a
metal
homemade
clunk?
Metal clunk.
Okay.
You just snap it right on, right?
You squeeze it.
Okay.
No, it's like a scissors, I guess is the right word.
There you go.
This is
So-
nice how this all fits
I like
in
that.
here.
Yeah.
This is my plumbing for the
Overflow.
overflow
Right.
from the crankcase vent.
Oh, a crankcase vent?
This one is a crankcase vent.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 4-stroke has a vent that you can't plug up. It's
Okay.
got a vent to the atmosphere.
And there's
Who would like to see something?
and here's the other lead for the
Right.
Oh, look at this, Rich. Cool. Glow plug connector wire.
Ooh.
For those of you who have a few bucks to spend.
I like this better.
Yeah.
This little piece of wire, it's light, it's neat, and I've never had a failure.
Trust me, this is better. That's just cool.
Yeah, better and cool. Right.
I mean,
Okay.
I've been down the road with all of this stuff. This
Now,
is
where did you
better.
get this?
That's cool.
Where did you get this?
Sometimes
I know
cool.
you got it out of your drawer.
Sometimes
What I
cool
meant
has
was,
the final
How
vote.
did you get it into your drawer?
You can see it better from this side.
Yeah, let me
The
shoot.
muffler.
3 dozen of them around here somewhere. Wait, don't let it fall out. Yeah, let me get
Oh.
a bag.
Let me show you something else here.
Rich. All right.
Yeah, I saw that.
That covers this.
And it says put some cooling air around it too.
It looks real official, like
Yeah.
like it might be on the real airplane.
Yep.
Yeah.
But in fact, when you put it in place, you can see the elbow.
Yeah, but it's better than just having the elbow
Oh,
stick
yeah.
out. Shit, that's.
So you
Well, you did that on the Bearcat too, right?
yeah.
The plug is
Well, here's-
laid back and slanted.
The other one doesn't have a motor in it.
But on the 2-stroke, you're sitting on top of it. No big deal.
Now that's a Venturi, one of the Mooney Venturis.
Yeah.
They adapt right in from a 77 or.
Yeah, sure. Well, no, you have to order special because
Oh, it's a special.
it's a different diameter, but the same guy makes them both.
Oh, okay.
Here's a piece of it here.
I always use the carburetor, so I don't know.
Dirk Tolinar makes them. And,
The
Yeah.
other thing that works is a wood.
it's a wooden cowling.
Lock tight.
And so what I did,
Put a drop into place and watch it go.
Yep.
so
Reminds me a
what
lot
I
of
did is
penetrant.
I built this up with body putty, Bondo.
Oh, okay.
Penetrant oil,
And
penetrant oil,
cut it
lock
down and shaped it. And when I got it looking, pretty
Stuff
good,
over here.
then I put about 4 layers
That
of
will
really
turn
thin
to
wax
powder
on
before it ever comes out.
the outside, and then I went on the inside with a moto tool, and I cut all the
Carved it
Bondo
all
away.
That's a good way to do it.
So
Yeah.
actually, you can see through the cowling at that point before you paint it.
Yeah, you allowed the Bondo to be used as a mold.
The Bondo
Like a removable mold. Yeah.
was an in-place mold. Actually, it's out of concerns for your health that I wouldn't ask you to pick it up.
You don't know how tough I am. You realize that model, actually, there's a reality check. That model has a smaller rudder than my 826, and it's 32 ounces lighter than the sweeper. So I guess we could talk. We can negotiate some points of manhood here. And I have some really tough friends. Yeah, that looks great. Now, what actually happened here? What was the big deal? That just the glue came loose, or?
Man, I always glue and screw down my pilots to the cockpit floor. There's a blind mounting nut up in the pilot. And this time, when I built the airplane, the guy was setting too low in the cockpit. So I decided to put him up on a spacer, but since the structure was new and not painted, I thought that get a good bind and it would be safe. So he was still screwed to a piece of plywood, but then the plywood was sitting on a couple of spacers, and the spacers tore the wood out of the cockpit floor. And so I just took the canopy off and did a whole new cockpit, and I made the pilot taller and screwed him by God to the cockpit floor now.
Yeah, it looks real nice.
Very nice.
Now that's a decal. Al, that's a decal up on the nose. The whirling. We were by your house last time.
The Whirling Dervish.
Whirling dervish of a. We got to get a close up of that.
Yeah, that's the Tasmanian devil.
That is exquisite.
Well, Don't expect much. I only got 5 flights on it so far, and so I'm not taking many chances.
I wouldn't.
Not to let not get a whole lot friendlier.
I wouldn't take any chances.
This is pretty.
Yeah, that looks great.
You know, Wendy, the real airplane has its competition history painted on one gear door and sponsors on the other.
Mm.
Check this out.
Oh, okay, hang on. He's got his kind of no ego trip here. well, let me read it for anybody that doesn't know. I can't read it through the camera.
1968 national qualifier.
Yeah. I'll try to record it, but I can't read it.
69, that's second
cool.
place.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
You know, that adds so much more to the realism.
Yeah, from the distance though, it looks like what's on the.
You don't really know until you read it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's 2 Walker trophies on there in bigger letters.
just slightly bigger. Those stencils, decals.
They're both.
Now see, there's logic to my madness. I don't have to put all my Walker wins on it. I save all that money on decals. I love the spinner. That worked out great.
Well, that was another mess. When I put the 91 in there wasn't any way to. I shoved it all the way back as far as I could, and still it stuck out the front too far.
Oh, okay. You had to make a spacer for it, like a.
No, actually, this is a forcing cone and everything. $100 machining. One
Oh
big
my
piece.
God!
Once you put it on there, you can't get it off.
Oh, geez.
And so then
Boy, it's a good thing you got a lot of money.
I had to put a door to get the engine in and out.
Now that's a new 91, right? That's a brandy new. Well, I'm saying it isn't the one I gave you.
No.
Okay, and the exhaust comes
I love
out
the
over
way you
here.
made your inclines so that it looks like real metal.
It does.
I keep hearing stuff going click, click in the wingtip.
Sound the tip weight loose?
No?
Yeah, there's something loose out there. Maybe another pilot? You got a girlfriend? You open up the hatch and a pilot comes out? The cockpit looks outstanding. I mean, even for people that are anti, you know, they don't want to see that rear cockpit look. That is great.
The fin, the stabilizer, and the hip on the fuselage are all blending into one. It is clean, it is neat.
Well, thank you.
And that is
You know what
really
it is?
well done.
What it is that I see, it's a real good, right away it's the critical mass. Wherever you've cheated, it doesn't matter because you got away with it.
Yeah.
You know, it isn't like, you know, some things are like, that is cool. The spinner is what makes it.
It's not a lawn dart made to look like
if you put
a
a less scale spinner on it, that'd really ruin it. That scale, that's giving you a lot, that spinner. That is really cool. Now I've got my camera and I got a full chip, so we can do the end of the flying day, get some real nice pictures.
Okay.
You got a clean shirt, like a red shirt or something you want to be in a picture with?
No, I got nothing but white shirts. I'm just trying. I got very fair skin. I can't
White always makes you look fatter than you are, though. You got
I can't stand a lot of heat.
So it's be fat or hot. Take your pick.
There you go.
I have to make that decision every day, and it's both. I lose. That's nice.
I was telling Al about Joe Adamusco's Seafire.
Oh, yeah.
What a job he did on that.
That is a piece of work, boy. That is a piece of work.
The problem that I have, one of the problems that I have right now, is that my spinner, my starter eats up the spinner. It's going to eat up the spinner, and there's no way to stop.
That's a hard to start by hand thing.
I've never started a 4-stroke by hand, and I'm not going to start now.
I got a first aid kit in the car. That's when I bought my first aid kit, when I started flipping a 91.
But anyway, I found a guy who has instead of 1.5-inch cones on the spinner, on the starter, they have 2 1/4-inch.
Oh, for bigger engines?
Yeah, that'll reach way back on the spinner.
You get better leverage, yeah.
And so it got here in time, but the inserts haven't come yet. They're not coming to Dallas until tomorrow. So I'm going to wind up fucking up this spinner too.
Well, here's an idea though. Why can't you just take a spinner for flying it And soon as, you know, when you're going to do photo ops and stuff, put one on that's got a nice fresh coat of paint.
I've got one with me.
You're ahead of me.
Way
See,
ahead.
you and I come from the same school.
Way ahead of you.
The man is a legend.
It's the name of the game.
One of the things I liked about the critical mass was the wing fillet.
Yes.
That's just the way it is on the airplane.
What wing fillet?
I think that's
Where the wings. In fact, on the videos that I have, you were fooling around with making that.
Yeah, I think that's a cool fillet.
Yeah, that is cool.
I like how you have it, the crease that develops at the rear edge of the flap and just blends right in.
That's just the way the real airplane is.
Well, you found a thing on the real airplane that really ties it together. That's the thing you accent.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you got a lovely machine too. So,
Well, mine's a lot easier to make.
yeah.
I just hire less. I hire a professional. I need a motor, I hire Richard. Yeah, that's cool.
A couple of red airplanes.
Red's the color this year, red.
That is from, according to,
I'm looking what they had combat out here last weekend.
Can you see the
I got
instruments?
a couple shots that.
Oh, I will.
planes
I will.
Real close, but
That's
you
just
can see one
silver.
Just get killed by the other.
I took a piece of tubing and I
You
just
get
put it
kill
in silver
shots
paint and
in.
stuck it on there.
This little sucker. It doesn't
Why
take
go to a lot of
close-up
trouble?
pictures from far away.
I'm trying to get a shot like, you know how they have on the Reno Air Race videos where you're by the rudder? I don't want to touch your rudder with the camera though. That
Yeah.
is definitely cool.
Well, it was easy and it's good enough as for semi-skilled stunt ship. But I gave him some charts so he can find Reno. This is
You
what
should have given some shots so we can find Rutherford. The hell with Reno.
This is what all pilots do with their approach charts. They stick them up in the corner of the windshield.
Yeah.
They can't reach.
Well, Joe Adamusco's got his stunt news in his. He's not paying attention while he's bombing Berlin or whatever he's doing. Now all these are little decals. I'm trying to get close to the decal. The oxygen refill.
The Tom Dwelly, those are decals, and everything else is stencils.
Okay. And this look, see Rich, you're gonna have to do something similar to this on the bent wing. See how he's got that?
Yeah.
Where you're gonna
Yeah,
need
he's
a
got-
horn at the split.
Yeah.
So we'll get some pictures of that with the close-up how he did
Well,
it.
not only that, see, that gap closes when the
Oh
flaps go
yeah,
up,
oh yeah.
and it widens when the flaps go down.
Same on a B-25. That's where you got polyhedral. That's a
Yeah.
problem. Now you got one horn and two lucky boxes. How did that work out?
No, I've got one horn and two pieces of U-shaped 1/8 inch wire.
Okay.
Okay.
One horn. Oh, the middle part is straight.
Yeah.
See, on a B-25, it's forward sweep all the way.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
No, there's one 1/8 inch horn in the middle, and this is an 1/8 inch wire here,
Okay.
and everything is glued. So there's no lucky boxes, no slop.
Okay.
All right.
Probably makes the control stiff, but with 55 pounds of line tension, you don't really worry too much about stiff controls.
Well, you're gonna fly this on 012s, right?
Actually all I brought was 008s. Don't you think that'll be enough?
Be fine.
frankly,
Put my
no.
plane in the car and lock the doors.